Welcome to the Compendium. Here, Friday night, we are live once again. I am your host, or one of your hosts this week, Chase Johnston-Lynch, and I'm joined by our partners at Make It Right Productions, and that is Sharon Colpman. So come on into the chat here, Sharon. Welcome to the Compendium Live here at Big Condo Radio. How you
Oh,
doing,
hi,
Sharon?
hi, Chase. Really excited about tonight. Lots of fantastic spoken word. Um, First time we've done this, for a while, so it's going to be interesting.
Well, I mean, for those who've been watching us, I mean, we have been doing the Friday Night Club, where we've been doing a series of monologues that we've been doing on a weekly basis. But then, we decided that, hey, let's do something different. So it was actually your idea, Sharon, that you wanted to start doing duologues, didn't you?
Yeah, I just thought as we were starting to come out of the lockdown that we could, try and do something a bit more experimental and bring back the duologues, because I know that a lot of actors, particularly, are getting, fed up of just doing the monologue and talking to themselves. They want another actor to talk to. So bringing in the
It's
duologues
bad
was
enough
like,
they're in lockdown, isn't it? It's bad enough
yeah,
they're in lockdown and they're on their own. And so I said, you know what? This would be fantastic because we at Big Condo Radio have been doing Zooms, right? And so we're kind of like used to doing two people talking to each other but not being in the same room. I felt that this will work. We'll have like our set up our squares and have the actors being able to do it at the same time. So this time we've been recording our duologues um, from our studio remotely, and it's going to be exciting. And Sharon is going in just as blind as you are, guys. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I
I'm
mean,
quite
look,
nervous.
but you know what? The actors have been great, the writers have been great, and it's been great working with you guys all this time. So let's just get started. Let's just jump right in there. Get our feet wet. With our first monologue of the evening, delivered by the fantastic Helen Jones and everything, and it's called "No More Heroes." So, and it's starring who, Sharon?
It's starring Sarah Jones, so it's the Jones Collective.
It's the Jones Collective, and they are not related, but they're equally talented. So what we'll do is we'll cue our man Blake in the booth, set us off with the first monologue, No More Heroes. We'll talk about it afterwards. And please follow us both on YouTube and Facebook. This is simulcast and everything. And we're going to be joined by our actors and writers as we go on through the night. So, Blake, hit us off with No More Heroes.
Professionals don't shirk. It's not heroic to do your job. A hero. Me? No. I'm a working class reject dressed by the House of Matalan. And when I was a kid, my jeans were always too short for my legs. Not especially special, you know? I am cringing though, to be honest. And not because I'm not grateful or anything, it's just got blown up to the point where people might start to think, oh, who does she think she is? We've all got jobs and responsibilities. Here I am, business going down the pan, and we're out clapping people just because they can go to work. Hero is it's a pressure word. It bleeds me. It's my dulce et decorum est. And it's a smokescreen. For them. Who? You know who I mean. And I'm no brow-mopping, hand-holding angel either. My halo might have slipped on more than one occasion, whilst driving to work as the dawn bleaches the stars away, or in the absence of daylight when my body clock tells me I should be in bed. Do you ever get used to tragedy though? Death, injury, multi-organ failure, that's my normal every time I go to work, on any day, in any year. I tell myself, if I ever get used to this, then I'll stop. It will mean I don't care. I do care. I do. Don't need a round of applause for that. Any decent person cares. We never stopped, and we never will. We coped with working far larger volumes this time whilst crushed into PPE, hot and claustrophobic in some non-air conditioned space, the air thick with no breath from us or the patient, the viral load suppressed in tubing, our words suppressed behind voiceless facehugger masks. We prepared for what was not prepared for. The narcosis of rebreathing whilst dripping in plastic, fine-tuning devices, meds and blood screens, losing weight like boxers training in bin bags whilst preparing for a fight. No drinks. Good job. Because, well, no loo either. Unless a colleague comes to take your place. Meaningful communication is everything. It empowers us, it makes us human. But we were unwillingly separated from the patient, the person, divide created that should never be there. A faceless carer in a pimped out, tricked out room full of wires and white noise and delusion. My name is written in black marker pen across my chest. My eyes tell you everything, but say nothing, because the visor says no. But not separated from each other, there is cohesion, camaraderie of war. Sharing visors, washed in bleach, smudged and hazy. But we haven't cursed through the sludge of trenches in the deadly drift of a lime-tinged gas attack like Owen, Sassoon or some poor sod who breathes his last to the whistle. We went home, we ate, we showered, we slept. No shredding in barbed wire, no brains on chess in a foreign field with a poem written on the back of a cigarette packet in my uniform pocket. There were casualties though. Deaths among our colleagues, lest we forget. We are kind to each other. The banter gets you through. We hold hands, we look left, look right, cross the road to the other side. We collect memories of good deeds. Like the moment someone offered me their last can of chickpeas, or homemade bandanas for our hair, all the local businesses that gifted. The humanity of the moment is not lost or forgotten. Well, I won't forget. Let's keep that within us, please. But I was never under artillery fire as I put the wire into the vein, the artery. I'm trained to do that, you know. I'm no hero. I go to work, I do my job. Now, here's a phrase that might be a better fit. Make do and mend with the PPE. And I'll wait for the shrapnel to pepper me down. Here's the real bombshell. This could have been prevented. Let me give a round of applause now for the lost jobs, the people on benefits, all the industries that won't survive, the now empty theatre of life where the world is a stage on which we dance to the tune played by the tone deaf.
Wow. All right. Well, that was Jones, monologue delivered by Helen Jones, called "No More Heroes." And this was really interesting, wasn't it, Sharon? Because I mean, Sarah's character was an NHS nurse, coming home from a long, hard day, as we all know, in the times when we used to clap for the NHS,
Mhm.
right? But she was a bit frustrated, and she had a lot to say, and this was really interesting and stuff. What did you think, Sharon?
I think it's a straight from the horse's mouth account. This one, it really tells it how it is, and you get the glossy images on news of the NHS, being wonderful, and really it's just they just go to work and do their job, and it's hard, and it's made harder by having to wear the PPE and just keep going with all the trauma that's going on there. We're yet to see whether these nurses end up with post-traumatic stress from all this, because some of them are not A&E nurses like the one in this story. Some are just have just been dragged in. Some are even trainee nurses that have started early because of COVID. So we're yet to see the traumas really that it's caused. So
Yeah.
when I got this, and I thought this was really worth putting on to show people when they clap the NHS, this is what they're clapping. This is
Yeah.
the true story.
It was good to see kind of like an NHS worker, going home and just wanting to relax, to relay her frustrations in this monologue. So I mean, well done, Wilson, again to the fantastic Sarah Jones and Helen Jones, who has been delivering several different writings at your Make It Right drop in and everything, but we haven't seen her for a while and everything, and
No,
so it's good
she's
to see.
writing a book. She's actually writing a book at the moment, so she's not been
Well,
writing
look at
plays.
that. She's on lockdown. And everything. So, good luck to Helen on that. And you know what, if Helen's following us in the chat, hey, let us know how you're doing with that book and everything and that option that you're working on. So, we're gonna move into a little bit of a comedy, but a comedy from down under. You know what I mean? Comedy from down under, because now E. Rupert Gray, Sharon doesn't seem to like our writers' name,
Pen name,
but
yeah.
he's Australian. Yeah, just like I'm American. And but he's fantastic with his words, and he wanted to kind of like write something like from home, something about that has his voice in it. And I can understand that, because always being asked, hey, that's too American, that's too American. So he wrote a duologue, which is too Australian. Tell us about the actors here, Sharon.
We've got Floyd Kennedy, who has associations with Australia. So she's we've got the genuine accent going on there, and we've got Joe Matthew Morris, who plays the English young lad, who's been raised by his Antipodean auntie, who's quite gruff.
Choice, mom.
What? And I think
No,
again, this is all part of Black Lives Matter, actually, Chase, because the main character on this, she was married to an Aboriginal chap who was killed in custody. So it's very, very up to date. That that all the stories that we're delivering tonight are mainly up to date ones. Some are just for fun, but a lot of them are what's happening now.
Well, this is definitely for fun. And I mean, we would, if we want to tell it, we would have to put one of those strong language warnings on there. But like as the writer has said, this is how we talk to each other. Don't worry about it. We don't take any offense and everything. So we say these, and it's kind of like a rites of passage. So let's look at this one, this duologue put together by Floyd Kennedy and Joe Matthew Morris. It's called Raised by Joyce by E. Rupert Gray. So Blake, let it go. Close the curtains, man. Close the curtains.
Arrested, for God's sake, you idiot.
It just happens so quickly.
My boy, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I guess so.
Guess so? Jesus. Fuck, Billy. Jesus. Billy, how did you get yourself arrested?
I don't know, Joycey.
Enough the Joycey business, dickhead. Show some fucking respect. You just got arrested, you dumb cunt. And it's Auntie fucking Joyce, ma'am, from now on.
Sorry, Auntie Joyce. Mom.
Get used to it, lad. You're going to be kissing my fat ass for a long time. How the hell did you get yourself arrested?
I know, Auntie Joyce.
Ma'am?
Mom. Auntie Joyce, Mom. I just got caught up in the crowd. Got a bit excited and angry, and the old bill appeared.
Busies. You're in Liverpool now, you dill. Busies.
Busies, yeah. Well, they showed up and it all went berserk. What did you call them in Australia?
Who?
The busies.
Cunts. Oh, they had all sorts of names, but in West Australia we call them pigs, coppers, plods usually. But my favourite was wallopers.
Walloper? Why Walloper? What's that all about?
Jesus, you really are green, aren't you? Walloper because they would beat the crap out of you if they could. But it also implied they were wankers, walloping themselves, beating the meat.
Boss.
What?
That's scouse enough for you, Mom?
Yeah, nice distraction, dickwit, but how did you get arrested? What happened when the wallopers turned up?
Well, they started pushing towards us and they had the shield thingies.
What do you mean shields? Riot shields? What were you doing to get that?
I'm really sorry, Auntie Joyce, Mom.
Don't fucking sorry me, boy. What were you doing?
Well, protesting. Sorta, I guess.
You? Stone the fucking crows? You were protesting?
Yeah, maybe even rioting a little, maybe.
Bugger me. Protesting. You. Rioting. Jesus, boy, you for Christ's sake. You're so bloody normal, so conventional. Why? You know you'll bugger up your studies if you get a record. What were you protesting about?
Everything, Auntie, everything. Fucking everything. It's all so fucking fucked.
Ooh, listen to you swear. I've never heard it before. Sweary little Billy.
That's your influence, Auntie fucking Joyce, Mom. You and your filthy Australian manners, or lack of them. You're disgusting.
Yeah, maybe.
No maybe about it, but I like it. I know, I like living with you here. I like Liverpool, and I like you, Joycey. You know, it's like having a mum again. A rude and ill-mannered mum, but...
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it, boy? Your mum was okay, you know. She just got the heebie-jeebies and cleared out. Shot through, back to Oz, I think. There's nothing bad about her. She just has a few troubles.
Troubles? What, because she was born in Australia, she had to piss off? Are you all screwed up over there? Driven mad by the sun?
She's okay, Billy.
Sorry, Joyce. It hurts, though. Dad told me she was only a little kid when her family came back to London to look after her nan before she died. Maybe those few years in Australia were enough to taint her.
She's not tainted. Never that. Nothing about her is wrong. Don't ever forget that, Billy.
Well, she left me and Dad behind. Don't even know if she's still alive.
She'll be back when she works it out. It's tough for her.
How do you know so much about her, Joyce?
I don't. Not enough, anyway. So.
At least you were here to bail me out, even if I'm not your son.
I am, yeah. Did you know Jack and I had a boy?
I did.
He was 12 when he died. Leukemia.
Dad did tell me about him. What was his name?
David James Murray Levy. But he was always Jimmy James to us. Anyway, that's enough happy bloody families. You're a slippery prick, William Levy. Always changing the friggin' subject. What were you protesting about?
Oh, Joycey. Everything. It's all shit. Poverty, climate change, Black Lives Matter, this bloody virus shit, and those overprivileged twat private schoolboys in Westminster. If it doesn't change, we're doomed, aren't we? Fucked. Really fucking fucked.
Listen to you, boy. Oh, swearing sounds so funny when you do it. I didn't know you had it in you. But you're screwed up, you nitwit. You don't get arrested unless you want it and you're ready for it. What was the charge?
Damage and something. I don't know, probably for smashing up the shop window. I wasn't really listening.
Oh dear, windows too. Oh, it does me all heart good.
Or it might have been when I swore at the Walloper. Busy.
Jesus, Billy, did you have a mask on or a bandana or something?
Nothing on me, no.
Hoodie?
No.
Groucho Marx glasses and a moustache?
What?
Oh, never mind.
You say some stupid shit sometimes, Joyce.
And you do some stupid shit sometimes, Billy Levy. Green, naive, still wet behind the ears.
What's wet?
You, like a flaming newborn. What did you say to the busies?
Well, I was with Freema and Mo, and he, the copper, just winked at us and smirked. So I called him a cunt.
Ah, and?
Well, I called him, you know, a fucking cunt. Shitbrain.
Okay.
A fucking cunt, shitbrain, motherfucking pedo arsehole. I just got so angry on it. I couldn't stop myself. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm sorry for being so stupid.
So you should be, you flipping clown.
Sorry, Auntie.
You've got some balls on you, though. What do you do then?
He licked his lips, so I gobbed on his shoes.
I swear to God, you absorbed the genes of Jimmy Murray, you fiery little warrior prick.
What do you mean?
Ah, nothing. Did he clobber you?
He sure did.
Too right, Blue.
What?
It's strine.
What?
Too right. It's Australian lingo, and it means yes, definitely.
What's blue then?
A bloke with red hair. Or a fight. A blue. What you've just been in. You got a bit of warrior in you. You surprise me, little Mr. Levy. On ya, boy.
Thanks, Joycey. And thanks for bailing me out. You gonna tell Dad?
Oh, I don't know, boy. Let's see what happens when I talk to Fred or Stephen next time. You're not a kid anymore, so you should probably make the call on who gets told what. But in the meantime, I'm going to own that little house cleaning ass of yours.
Oh, no, Joycey.
Oh, I hate fucking housework.
I noticed.
Did you then, you smart ass? You're going to make this bloody house sparkle, little cleaner boy. Bail doesn't come cheap, you know. And you're going to learn to plan. Stupid boy. Plan how to clean a house and how to fucking get away. If you're going to protest Dick Brain, you've got to be smart about it. Know your escape routes. And hide your bloody face. You're going to polish up the house and polish up your bloody act.
How do you know all this shit, Joycey?
Never you mind. No swearing either, bail boy. I own your little house cleaning ass. Hey, did Mo and Freema film it?
No. They ran when he started to batter me.
Bloody amateurs. You should have thrown yourself at his feet before he had a chance to whack you. You start screaming and they film it. Then you run. What do they teach you at university now? You're all little money bots, aren't you?
Fuck you too, aren't you, Joyce, Mum? Who's Jimmy Murray anyway?
Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy bloody Murray. I was going to marry him. He was a proud Noongar man, Billy. A warrior for his people, his mob.
What about Uncle Jack? How come you married him then?
Oh, this was years before I came here to England, London, and then Liverpool with Jack. Jimmy was killed by the coppers, 1965. They arrested him and made him die like they do hundreds of indigenous Australians.
Why did you say, I've got his genes?
Oh, nothing, just turn a phrase.
Is Noongar like a tribe then?
Oh, sort of, but not quite. They're a big language, cultural group in southwest Australia. Oh, I couldn't face the place after Jimmy died. I tried for a bit, but I've been here ever since. I met Jack after a while and we settled here in Liverpool.
But you loved him, Uncle Jack. You said you did.
Yeah, I guess. He was all right for a pommy bastard.
Dad says you're all bloody criminals over there.
Too right we are, and proud of it. I just wish we weren't all racist pricks as well. I might go back to die there, you know. The land, the trees, the gum trees, they own me, mate.
Is that why you don't want me getting arrested? Because of Jimmy?
Yes and no. Arrests and prison always stir me up. But you've got to be professional about it. You don't just act out like a wanker and get arrested. How did you break the window anyhow?
I might have acted out like a wanker.
Surprise me.
Well, you know this morning when I asked you about lunch today?
Me? You're going to make it my fault?
And you told me to shut my moaning little mouth and grab a tin of baked beans.
You are. It's going to be my fault. You're a greasy little shitbag, Billy Levy.
Well, Auntie Bloody Joyce, Ma'am, it was that tin of beans, that little tin missile that you put in my hand, because you were too lazy to make me a sandwich. It was your tin of lazy beans that broke the window.
Come here, you. When I get hold of you, boy, I'm going to kick your fucking ass till your nose bleeds.
You're too slow, Auntie Joyce, Ma'am.
Watch it, Billy boy.
Too old, too fat, too slow. A fat old invalid Joycey.
I didn't realise how much Jimmy cheek you had in you.
You can't die yet, Joycey. Stay here with you for a while yet. The gum trees will have to wait for you.
Sounds good, Billy. But you've got to get smarter.
You got to teach me.
Too right, mate.
Wow, wasn't that fantastic? It's so nice to see two pros in action, both Floyd and Joe, you know, working fantastically together. And such a lovely, fun script. And I think I'm sure that Floyd really enjoyed having a good swear on the screen.
Oh yeah, she did. I mean, they even seem like son, well, nephew and nan or grandnan or whatever it was. But yeah, it was a pleasure these two. I mean, and the thing about it is we got to remember that these are doing duologues differently, Sharon. I mean, they're both in separate houses, but then we connected them together with these screens. So this is probably the first time they've seen it, and I would love to hear from them commenting in the chat. We got a lot of chats going on in the chat, especially our man Colin Hives, who doesn't think I'm an American, but that's okay. He's just jealous. He's just jealous. And of course,
we've
you don't
got
need to-
we've got Bernie in there who's anticipating his own bit of writing, but he's got to wait until last. He's on last tonight.
that's when you write something significant, Bernie. I mean, to close out the show. I mean,
It's
hey,
brilliant.
this. Trust me, yeah, it is. It is brilliant. And so, as people are saying in the chat, yeah, we're off to a cracking good start, and everything like that. And what we want to do is now is as I was ribbing my man Colin Hives, this is Colin Hives' version premiere with us. Because this man, he's prolific. He's a filmmaker. He's a writer. He is constantly, been working during this lockdown. Working with different people and just constantly cranking them out. And so he decided to crank one out for us, didn't he, Sharon?
Yeah, it sounds quite rude.
It does. It does sound quite rude, but he's quite rude on the chat, so it's all good. I understand, though. I understand that this is pretty autobiographical for Colin. So,
Yeah, it's nice
luckily enough,
nostalgia.
it's luckily enough it's performed by one of his mates, who's another good standout here for us, who's been on the collection, a gentleman by the name of Paul Hiltz, named after the Cooler King. So let's get right down to it, because I think we're all gonna enjoy this one. So One Adult by Colin Hines, starring Paul Hiltz. So Blake, and close those curtains, bruv.
Who knew how long it'd be on for? I was never going to compete with the likes of Lon Chaney, but I needed to do something, and I needed to do it fast. Time was against me. Mad Max 2 was the film, and I was 13 years of age, and it was an X. Drastic action was needed. I'd already seen the trailer and I knew it'd be incredible. I just had to see it. I just knew it would be one of those films that would have meaning in my life. I mean, all those chases and explosions. For a 13-year-old kid, well, it just doesn't get any better than that. And I hadn't even seen the first one. So me and Joey Watson made plans and bunked off school. That was our first phase. I must be an adult or I'd be in school, right? It was the middle of March. Well, they couldn't question that. Next up was the visual side. Glasses. A pair of my dad's glasses added at least a year to me. A tie would add another. I mean, what kid wears a tie when he's not in school? I was already on my way. Folded up newspaper in my shoes made me at least 5'2". So now I knew this mission had a chance of success. Joey decided to go with a fake moustache, which was, well, just odd. As we stood there and looked at ourselves in my mum's full-length mirror, I couldn't help but think, Bugsy Malone. But we didn't care. We had to take the chance. It was all about the acting, how we carried ourselves. I'd seen Robert De Niro do that mirror scene in Taxi Driver, although I hadn't seen the full film. Like I said, I was only 13 years of age. I spun round quick in the mirror, glasses in hand. One for Mad Max 2, please, love. And again, one for Mad Max 2, please, love. God, I was good. Joey looked like Jimmy Cranky, to be honest. But I didn't care. I'd leave him behind if I had to. Mad Max's search for water in a post-apocalyptic outback was far more important. I felt confident in the long line of people outside the cinema. Cocky, even. I threw in the odd deep cough. And I told Joey what I thought about Margaret Thatcher and Argentina invading the Falklands. I'd become another person. I think I'd become me dad. As we approached the counter, Joey's tash fell off and he lost his nerve. But I didn't care. I just thrust my money at the woman and I said, Mad Max 2, love, in my Orson Welles voice. She didn't even look at me. It was incredible. I just grabbed that ticket and I marched down the corridor as fast as I could, half expecting an arm on my shoulder at any second. Some guy took me ticket and I looked back at Joey, scrambling on the floor looking for his moustache. Oh well, collateral damage. Sitting in the seat on my own, I felt fantastic. This was my biggest achievement. I'd become a man. I'd made it. Time seemed to slow down as I sat there all alone. As if the movie gods were just giving me a moment to settle in. I'd been to the cinema hundreds of times with my mum and dad, but this just felt different. This was now mine. After what felt like an eternity, the Pearl and Dean music started and it made me smile. Even an advert for a restaurant in Soho filled me with joy. This was my greatest achievement. And then it began. And the life drained from me. On Golden Pond. What the hell? Was this some kind of joke? I'd been sitting in the wrong screen for nearly half an hour. Oh, God. I couldn't just get up and leave. That would look terrible. On Golden Bloody Pond. Although, it did deserve its Oscars. And Fonda and Hepburn were brilliant together. On the way home, Joey went on and on about how great Mad Max 2 was. Best film he'd seen, apparently. Took me nearly a year to see it on video. Although, at least I'd seen the first one by then.
Well, that one really reminds me of my childhood going to the cinema in Crewe, because they were a flea pit that would let anybody in to see the X films, and no, Chase, X films aren't porn. As you said,
it does in my world. Now, let me tell you, my childhood, when we were trying to go see an X film, Sharon, you know what I mean? So I had to go with my older brother or his friends, or we had to bribe some old man to take us in. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, okay. All right. So, great story, Colin. You took me back.
It took me back, yeah.
Well, obviously, also, it's again, it's expertly performed by Paul Hiltz. You know,
Yeah.
I always love when he takes on a monologue and everything, and he can make you feel the atmosphere of the space
Yeah.
that he's in. So
He's got
you know,
he's got a lovely earnest face, and it draws you right in.
yeah, no, exactly. I mean, he emotes, or he secretes the dialogue.
He
You
does.
like that? Secretes the dialogue. You know. Yeah, put that point in the chat. But either way, is that is actually blowing up, and you know what the problem is that we're finding it difficult to actually navigating, aren't we, Sharon? Because Sharon would love to be commenting in the chat, but because she's like on a phone and on the computer, it's hard to do so. And I'm enjoyed, so that should say it all. So either way, is my responses to you guys are there. I'm enjoying the fact that you are actually liking the material that we're doing, and it's all good. So I think it's time for another duologue. What do you think, Sharon?
Yeah, why not? Why not have a duologue?
Well, we're trying to go one up, one down, one up, one down, and everything.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about this particular one, it's called Dead Birds. Now, what's interesting is that there seems to be this phenomenon or this conspiracy theory going on. Don't get me started. About dead birds, being like lying around, and something to do with I don't know, I forgot what that thing was, Code 9. Either way you look at it is Ted Grant. I get Ted Grant confused, I get him confused with Ted Gray. But Ted Grant had written this like funny duologue and everything, and we were, going after actors and everything like that. We got the fantastic Luke Morgan, but then, we had some dropouts and everything. And so Ted Grant, writer, had to step in.
And he's quite a good actor as well, though.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say. He stepped in marvelously, you know what I mean? I was looking for you to like set me up on that. So again, this is another interesting duologue because it's supposed to be two guys on the bench. And so this is how we set it up. So, obviously Sharon didn't see it, but she knows it. But either way is she's gonna watch it now. Along with you, we're watching us here on the Compendium. So this is Dead Birds by Ted Grant. And so what we're gonna, what I'm gonna say, right? Blake, close the curtains. Close the curtains.
Right. Don't look. You have to guess what I've got in my packed lunch. I've got three things: a sandwich, a packet of crisps, and a chocolate biscuit. Okay. You have to guess which film was in my sandwich, what flavour of crisps I've got, and which chocolate biscuit. Okay, got it?
Right, okay. Okay, here we go again. Cheese and onion. Salt and vinegar hula hoops. And a Kit Kat. Chunky. Kit Kat chunky.
Right on the first two, but not a Kit Kat chunky.
Not Kit Kat Chunky.
No, afraid not. I'll give you a clue. It's a bird. Well, I think it's a bird, but not like the birds you see around here.
Right. You think it's a bird, but not like the birds you get around here.
I wonder where all the dead birds go.
What?
Well, you never see any dead birds anywhere. They must die. So, where do they go?
I don't know. Eaten, I expect.
Eaten?
Yeah.
What, like a posh college?
No, eaten. Like, consumed, devoured.
Oh, I thought you meant like they all gathered up for scientific research or something.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Christ, no, like eaten by another animal.
Yeah? Such as?
I don't know, a fox or something.
A fox?
Yeah, fox.
Do foxes eat birds?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Foxes don't eat birds.
I think you find they do.
When was the last time you saw a fox eating a bird?
The last time.
I've never seen a fox eating a bird.
Well, when have you ever seen a fox eating anything?
Never. So, there you go.
What do you mean, so there you go? They obviously eat something.
I suppose.
You suppose? Anyway, how do you know that they don't eat birds?
Because you just said you don't see them eating anything.
Yeah, but we know that they eat.
Do we?
Yeah. How do you think they survive?
Okay. Supposing they eat to survive, that doesn't necessarily mean that they eat animals, does it?
But they do.
What? Like birds?
Yes, like birds.
Not dead ones, though, surely. That's disgusting.
I don't think they're that fussy.
But they can't eat all of them.
Well, maybe not all of them. I mean, a lot of them just decay, or they get eaten by other animals.
Other animals? Oh, man. What like?
I don't know. Badgers?
Badgers? No.
Yeah.
I can't cope with this. Badgers as well?
What do you think badgers and foxes eat?
Vegetables.
Vegetables?
Yeah, vegetables.
Are you insane? They're omnivores, mate. They eat all sorts of stuff. Worms, fruit, insects, other animals.
Oh, bloody hell.
Telling you, mate. Tough world.
Foxes, badgers, what else?
Mink.
Mink.
Yep.
Right. What else?
Stoats.
Stoats. They're like mink, aren't they?
Yeah. I think mink, female stoats, actually.
Oh, really? Well, you learn something new every day. So we got foxes, badgers, mink, stoats,
Weasels.
weasels. Right? Okay. Are they not the same as minks and stoats?
No.
No.
They're different. They can swim.
Swim. Really? Okay. So we've got foxes, badgers, minks,
Rats.
rats. Rats as well.
Yeah, yeah, honest. They like blackbirds.
Blackbirds. Wow. Okay. So we got foxes, badgers, minks, stoats,
Weasels.
weasels, foxes, badgers, minks, stoats, weasels, rats. Anything else?
Voles.
Voles. What are voles?
They're just like moles, but with a V.
Yeah, but what are they?
Voles.
Yeah, voles.
I don't know. I think they're just like big mice.
Big mice. You taking the piss? Rats are big mice, mate, not voles.
No, mate. Voles. Voles are big mice.
Right. And they eat birds.
I think so, yeah.
Right, so we've got foxes, badgers, minks, stoats. Oh, minks and stoats are kind of the same thing. Weasels, rats. Rats, we said, didn't we?
Voles.
Voles. Right. Foxes, badgers, minks, stoat. Well, minks, stoats, weasels, rats, and voles. Is that it?
Think so, yeah.
Anything else?
Probably about it, isn't it?
You think?
Yeah, I think so. What were we talking about again?
Don't know, mate. Can't remember.
Penguin!
Oh, we just
And we're live once again.
we've just been reading on the comments that that Helen Jones had a fox eater homework.
Yeah, and Pink Panthers and Minkies. I mean, but I mean that was after Colin was talking about cranking one. So I mean, I'm sorry to be such a bad influence. You know what I mean?
I know it sounds like you're having a great
Sharon.
time in the
Sharon,
chat.
Sharon.
Doesn't it?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, like it's fantastic. I mean, this is what it's all about, like actors acting, writers writing, and performers being able to perform, and like this is an important thing. Because, also too, I think it probably is a good point to be able to mention that we at big Condo and Make It Right have an idea, right, Sharon, to put on something that I like to call, well, Sharon calls it, so I like to call it because I stole it, disappearing theater. And so tell them about it, Sharon.
Well, there's a protest about the fact that theatres are just not being supported by the government on the 11th of July in Trafalgar Square. And there will be one in Liverpool, which we haven't got the details quite yet, but it will be a march in Liverpool. But me and Chase were thinking, what do the people do that are still sort of worried about going out into the community with COVID, about, the people that are self-isolating and the people that are more vulnerable, or just people that are nervous about going out and getting COVID. So we thought, well, we'd give them something to do at home. So we were asking everybody who's creative, who works in the creative industry, to make a little video of themselves performing something, and just as it gets dramatic, to stop and then walk.
It has to have emotional impact.
It has to be. It has to be impactful.
I think it should be, because like the idea is, if the deed of actually disappearing or going away, it's like it's a loss for all of us, not just the people who make theater, but the people who view theater. And so the idea is to like a heightened point, and then we will fade it away. disappearing
Yeah.
in theater. But also, too, Sharon, you also been making it pitch out to the people behind the scenes as well. Who working in the
Yeah,
theater,
yeah.
who doing the makeup.
Yeah, if you're a makeup artist, then make up half a face. But when you send the clips, please just keep them quite short because we want to get as many on as possible. And also make sure your
need like
phone is make sure your phone's landscape and not portrait, because then we can put them all together quite smoothly. If it's up and down like that, we're going to struggle to put them on. So make sure your phone is horizontal when you record your piece, and make sure your piece is dramatic. Make sure you get to a dramatic piece and stop.
And you walk out of the frame. You walk out of
the frame,
and
then,
we will fade you out.
Yeah, and leave it a few seconds before you come back and turn your phone off, so that we can have that empty frame. So yeah, so please send them up to. I'll make it right. There's an email address to send them up to. It's my email address, but I'll send them across to Chase, and Chase will do the technical wizardry with Blake, and we'll get them it put into a film, and then it'll be up on the 11th of July when the protest is on, so that we can share it. We've got to try and flood the media with protests about us losing theatre and us losing entertainment. I mean, what would we do in the lockdown without entertainment? We've been trying to entertain people, and what's
that is what we're doing right now.
Yep.
That's what we're doing right now with the Compendium. So I mean, and we just feel anybody could read the words, but it's about performing the words and then having those words, that performance actually into a more of a creative thing. So hey, back to the show. So who's up next?
Oh, it's you that's up next, Chase.
I'm up next. Oh my God, fear has just crept into me.
Yeah, so Chase is doing one called, sorry, what was it called? I can't remember the name of this one.
The Oppositionist by our good man Ted Gray, or E. Rupert Gray.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, to me, I just felt this monologue hit me because it felt a little bit like a Guy Fawkes kind of like scenario, and would it be in the 4th of July? As an American, it's Independence Day, people, and everything. So this was perfect. So, but also it's like my tribute to one of our favorite here at Make It Right, Mandy Lally. Now, Mandy Lally couldn't put in something today, and I mean, I don't want us to feel empty without her. So it's like, I tried to make this like more of a film, and Blake told me I tried too hard. But either way you look at it, you know what I mean? That's just the preview. Anyway, so Blake, close the curtains. Babu. Do not change your TV set. We have taken over your airways. But it's important the message. I am an oppositionist. At all times, opposed, preventing, arresting, precluding, stopping. One of life's roadblocks, limiting progress. A red flag preceding the car, sounding a note of caution, a scream of denial, saying nay, no, never to that. I am opposed, staving off change, portending, frustrating, and forestalling. With eloquence, I argue fear, the terror of the unknown, cutting down change, inserting equivocation, breaking down betterment, making headway stumble on the black heart of fear, making every step a life or death experience. I am an oppositionist. Opposing, I am a monger of alarm, selling angst, trading in dread, bartering jitters and hawking panic. I am conservative, left and right. I do change. I do claim ownership in perpetuity of change forced, dragged over, through and around my ever-resistant body when it works. It is mine, owned by sleight of hand. So slight you missed it. I entrench, dig in, hold fast, claiming progress as mine own. Risk avoided, I bed down, a great leader of men, and withdraw in my shell. Head in the sand, crab shell body again, impervious, conservative, dead, riskless, left and right. I am conservative. Bone crushingly resistant, I drain all life. I am life in fear of death, death in fear of life. I am conservative.
Oh right, okay, yeah, that was fantastic by Ted Gray. The Oppositionist with Chase, and it was nice to see Chase acting, but I've heard he can only maintain it for 2 minutes.
Okay, Sharon. That worked out. Jeez, 2 minutes. All right. So anyway, listen, it may have been a little bit too scratchy, it may have been a little bit too much, but it was like, cool. Ted, awesome. As usual, and maybe all that. Look at that. I'm all flustered because it was 2 minutes. So, speaking of fluster, look at that. Look at that segue. Speaking of
That's
fluster,
amazing.
I'm gonna go to another person who's flustered. Actress Claire Kelly, doing a saucy tale from Liz Redwood, and know what it's called?
Lust on the line.
Okay, she didn't say it like that. I think you would have been more excited. But you could have said it like lust on the line.
Oh, I'm not sexy. I can't do sexy at all. Yeah, Blake, quick,
Close.
Blake.
I've been doing a lot more washing since lockdown. Gives you something to do, doesn't it? Can get a bit boring otherwise. I get this kind of strange, sensual pleasure from hanging the washing out. My mum used to call it pegging out, and I like that term. It's proper northern, working class. I'm working class, although no one would think so. People think I'm posh, but I'm not really. I've worked my way up, married well, divorced even better, hence my very nice lifestyle. Most of my friends wouldn't peg out. They live in very posh areas. The neighbours would look down on a washing line in the garden. They'd be seen as common. But I am more practical. It's my working class roots coming out. Why use a tumble dryer when you can peg out? I like to do my bit for the planet too. There's a science to pegging out. People have actually researched it. I've looked it up online. The best way to hang your clothes dry. But I've never tried it. I like to do it in my way. I've got a certain style. It's got to be all the same sort of clothes, same colours, same materials, and then each item has got to be pegged the same distance from the other. So you get the same size dip in each garment, and so that it's all symmetrical, so it looks nice, even, and organised. The pegs must match too. Nothing worse than mixed pegs. Looks so common. I'd never leave the line out overnight. Oh, that's just slovenly, isn't it? And pegs left on the line all the time. There's just no need for that. If I come in and see something on that line isn't right, I've got to go right back out and straighten it. Some people would say it's an obsessional thing, but I think it's more to do with having order in your life. If you've got a nice washing line, it reflects your social class. It shows the rest of your life as it should be. Organised, refined, with standards. You can always tell the state of a house by the washing line. Always, without fail. I look nice when I peg out. I don't get all dressed up or anything like that. I just make sure I'm wearing something flattering, something sexy. I know the neighbours watch me. I peg out the same time every day if the weather's nice, so they know when I'm coming out. If I place myself in a certain position behind the washing line or wear sunglasses, I can see next door peeping at me through the windows. They're a young couple, and they're rather attractive, so I don't mind. Professional too. They've been working at home since the pandemic, so suppose they got bored like me. I like to think I give them a bit of entertainment. From the look of the knickers that she pegs out, there isn't anything exciting going on in their bedroom. Proper big girl knickers, although she's not a big girl. Some faded white ones too. Can you believe it? Faded white knickers? There's just no excuse. Maybe he likes big faded white knickers, but I don't think so. Not by the way he's peeking out at my little lacy thongs on the line. Lord knows what he's up to behind that window when he's watching me. I like that he watches me. Gives me a thrill. Gets me excited. I always make sure I wear little shorts and a crop top or a bikini, and then I bend right down, right over, so my arse is facing their house, and I take a very long time to find my next pair of frilly knickers, so that he gets a long, satisfying look. He can let his imagination run wild. I do it when she's there as well. She stays at the window watching me. She never moves away. She's still there when I've finished pegging out. I know she likes it too. Why would she watch otherwise? I like turning her on as much as I do him. I wonder if they talk about me. They probably do. I bet they don't admit to one another what they're really thinking though, when they're watching me bending over with my legs apart. Dirty pair!
Well,
Okay, and I am live. You know what? I'm live and hot under the collar and stuff.
yeah, we didn't expect the red.
Yeah,
knickers.
yeah, all right. Oh well, I expected red knickers, but yeah. So anyway, so Sharon, this is
Yeah.
getting hot and steamy. So let's go for some comedy, shall we?
Yeah. Let's calm it right down.
We're gonna calm it right down, and wipe the sweat off my brow and everything like that. But this is one by our lovely Sharon Colpman. So it's like, I love it how you tend to, I was just gonna say dip your wick, but I love how you
Throw
tend
one
to like
in there.
it is, throw one in
Like
there.
a hand grenade. I just chuck a hand grenade in every now and then.
Yeah. So this is our last duologue of the evening. Portrayed by Lou Freeburn and Wayne Stewart Cole.
Yeah.
And I, well, maybe I shouldn't give it away, but I was going to ask you if you ever did any of this experience that these guys are talking about.
Well, because I was a cancer survivor, you're expected to have a bucket list, and I was just thinking when I survived, I don't want to risk my life doing anything. I've just risked my life. I'd just rather go and lie on beaches and use that as my bucket list. Which beach can I go and lie on?
Yeah. Well,
So,
hopefully
yeah.
you don't have. Well, hopefully you don't have the experience that this guy's had. So
No.
let's get to it. This is called In Tandem by Sharon Colpman, starring Lou Freebird and Wayne Stewart Cole. So we shall. Blake.
You were so enthusiastic when you signed up. What happened to wanting to tick off everything on your bucket list? You do want to cross it off, don't you?
I thought I did. That was before the safety talk and all the terrible things that can go wrong.
Well, they have to be comprehensive so to cover their backs, but things seldom go wrong.
Seldom?
Well, not on my watch. Well, there was that one time with the arm in the harness, but that was only a mere dislocation.
Take this harness off, you've changed my mind. I'm not doing it.
Perfectly safe. Look, Dave.
Dean,
you're a braver man than me. You beat cancer. That is much more frightening than jumping off this bridge with only a rope between you and certain death.
that's just it. I didn't spend all that time on chemo with no hair, throwing my guts up just to plunge to my death off this bloody bridge.
Look, you're frightening everyone else now. Look, if I radio to control and get another instructor up here, we could go down in tandem.
Won't that make me look a bit of a wuss?
Well, we are strapped rather close together, but in these harnesses, nothing actually touches.
Oh, I mean a coward.
Well, it's got to be better than doing the walk of bloody shame back down the hill.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
Look, Dave, you can do this. I'll tell you what, mate. Have you ever been on a Big Dipper?
Yeah, every year at the fair.
Well, great. Right, close your eyes and imagine.
Eh?
Just do it.
Okay.
Right. Imagine that this bridge is at the top of the highest peak of that roller coaster. You peep over the top at the drop below. Then you know you're about to descend, and that first lurch downwards puts your stomach in your mouth.
Yeah, I remember. There's no feeling like it.
Well, when you jump from this bridge, it's not just your stomach that enters your mouth, it's your heart, your spleen, your liver, your entire spine.
Great!
No, just wait. Suddenly, it's quiet. Your ears pop and whistle. This is when it happens.
Oh, what? What happens?
Time stops.
Give over, it can't possibly stop.
Well, it does. It just stops. You can see everything happen at once. All the colours are brighter. The blue and white foam of the river below, the green of the foliage like microwave peas. Each crevice of every rock and the contours of the leaves and all the bushes are magnified. You can see it all at once, an explosion of information in your brain.
Wow. And then what?
Well, just pop onto the platform for me.
Okay, go on, then what?
Well, your hair dips into the river and that sets time in motion again. Like being reborn or baptized or something, I don't know.
Crikey, I've never been baptized.
Well, then the rope hauls you back and all the knots and cramps in your muscles are massaged out. Just step onto there for me.
God, my back could do with that.
Well, then the whole thing happens again and again until you finally come to rest. And you're left touching the cool, fresh, raging river, a hand inside the lion's mouth.
It does sound fantastic.
Well, then the boat comes to pick you up.
In tandem, you say?
Yes.
You don't mind if I swear and scream down your ear?
Oh, nothing I've heard before, mate.
I'll cry for me mum.
Come on, Dean. It's time to go. 1, 2, 3, go.
But you're not fastened to me.
Oh, do you know what? Goodbye, Dean.
You bastard!
Right. Who's next then?
I'm live. All right. So, hey, yeah, we've been having some connection activities going on here. So Sharon, what was it like seeing your play in a duologue happening up there?
It's quite strange actually. It's something I wrote quite a while ago, but I brought it back and jiggled it about a little bit so that it would fit in with the duologues here. And I just it's nice to see it because it's comedy, and I used to write comedy a lot and went very serious for a little while, but I'm going back and doing lots of comedy, so it's nice to actually see that working. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also comedy about a cancer survivor as well. So I mean, like it was interesting. Like you shared that about yourself. You know, I mean, I already knew, but I mean that you shared that publicly. That I'm not like disclosing anything. But you know, so to have your character, you know, be like he's going to do a bungee jump and he's afraid and everything, and this guy actually pushes him off.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, yeah, that didn't really happen, did it, Sharon?
No. But I've seen these poor kids that have to deal with the general public, and they get a bit jaded. So he's got this whole line of people that he's got to get bungee jumping, and if he gets somebody who's like, oh, I don't know, he's got to get them down that rope as quickly as possible. So that's what he did.
Yeah. I love the little con. Yeah, I have to call somebody up here and but I just want to also share about this because, like I said, making the duologue, what we were doing was we were having like being filmed and stuff. So we had to talk to the actors, about the setup, and it's it was a little weird there because it's like even though Lou was at one side, Wayne is at the other side, so they can't see each other, So trying to get that thing timed out with the push, we had to do a couple of takes on that. And on the second take, Wayne actually hit his head on the wall. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, you're your own health and safety. What's up, man? Don't call like house on me. He's like, well, it's my daughter's bed. She's little, and I'm like, well, could have figured that out, because he had to fall forward. So yeah, but he's all right. Hopefully in the chat he can share that story that it wasn't. But either way, this has been a good night.
The wonderful thing about the wonderful thing about the drop-ins, Chase, is that the writers' drop-ins, we've been having actors coming in, and the actors are actually starting to write, which I found amazing.
Yeah.
And Wayne's just written something that's really, really good, and he told us that he'd been thrown out of school when he was young, because he was disruptive. But he and told he couldn't write and he couldn't do maths or anything. He just told he couldn't do things, and the whole point of Make It Right really is to tell people that you can do stuff. If you work really hard on it, you can do stuff. And this is tonight's a good example.
Well, I mean, since you've already did your shameless plug, you want to do a shameless plug for the Writers Drop-In, since we're on to our last film of the night. Know what I mean?
Sadly, the drop-ins are dropping off, as it were, over the summer holidays now, because people are actually going to go away. So we're once a fortnight at the moment. The next one's the 16th. Yeah, the next one's the 16th of July. At 7:00, and we're on Skype, so you have to get in touch with me and I will set you up so that you can join the meeting. We're having August off, but we're coming back in September, probably on Zoom, and we'll see at some stage in the future we'll be able to do the drop-ins with each other again in the office. But at the moment we're Skype at the moment, and in September we're moving to Zoom so that more people can access it, because quite a lot of people have not been able to get on Skype, so we're moving over. So you just bring some the piece that you're writing at the moment. We read 20 minutes of it out, or however long it is, and we give it a peer review, and so you can take the criticism home and edit as appropriate, And sometimes people edit massively, and sometimes people just take a few things, but everybody usually takes something away from it. And from that we've done the compendium. From the drop-in, it's all drop-in people, so it's been fantastic.
No, it definitely has. I mean, it's been a pleasure working with everybody and all that other kind of stuff. So this is again one of my favorite writers that come into the drop-in, Bernie Winston, who's been in the chat the whole night. Thank you, Bernie, for
Bernie.
being in there, rah and people on and everything like that, because that's what it's all about. Not, I mean, staying in the room, and the room has been hot, saucy, and sexy. But either way, is that Bernie had written a piece which was like really interesting because, yes, like we said, a spool effect. It's kind of like in the pandemic, and it's kind of like an experience and everything. And I'll let the experience play out for itself. But it's called Hope in a Hopeless World.
And we've got Stephen George. Yeah.
And yes, being on by Stephen George. So here we go. Take it away.
I saw the film. You couldn't miss it, could you? It was everywhere. I watched as the policeman knelt on his neck. I watched as they ignored his pleas. And I watched as they wheeled him into an ambulance. Lifeless. A slow public execution. Why would anyone do that to a fellow human being, for fuck's sake? Resisting arrest, they said. Bollocks. His hands were behind his back. He was cuffed, for Christ's sake. Voices in the background were telling them, "You're killing him. You're killing him." But still, they carried on for 9 long minutes until they drained the life out of him. I was angry. Really angry. Streets all over America were on fire. A demo had been planned in London to show support and also to express the frustrations felt by this country's black communities. Of course it was worse in the States. Our police aren't armed, thank God. But George Floyd had shown that police don't need guns to take a life. And it wasn't just about policing, was it? It was about everyday life. I had to be there. So, Saturday came, and instead of my usual socially distant stroll in the park, I went to central London. Face mask on, hand sanitizer in my pocket, I was good to go. My first proper day out for over 2 months. The tube was pretty crowded. I felt uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. But the windows were open and air was blowing through the carriage, so it'd be okay. It should be okay. We gathered in central London and the march passed peacefully. There were a lot of us, but most were wearing face masks and doing their best to keep their distance. Not 2 meters maybe, but definitely 1. We chanted, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter." The march ended at the US Embassy, where speakers had been arranged to address the crowd. It was a really positive vibe, a great atmosphere. And maybe, just maybe, we could make a difference. Everyone was friendly, and by the end of the afternoon, I'd actually made a few new Facebook friends. I really liked one of them, Clara. She was a teacher who lived in Hampstead. Very posh. We agreed to stay in touch. Who needs Tinder, eh? I made my way home feeling good. Change was coming. It really was. But later on, when I cracked open a can of Guinness and settled in front of the TV, I got a shock. A big shock. The mood had changed big time after I left. Some bloke had scaled the cenotaph and tried to set fire to a Union Jack, and someone else had daubed was a racist on the Winston Churchill Memorial. The police presence had grew. Mounted police had been called in. Did they really need mounted police, for fuck's sake? Wasn't that just going to incite people? Some of the crowd hurled abuse and threw missiles. The police charged. A huge chestnut horse got spooked and broke away from the others. The police officer riding it lost control and it galloped down the road, throwing the officer to the ground. It was like a fucking war zone. There were a lot of angry people, and yeah, I could understand why. During the week, the BLM movement were very vocal. They said that the violence just deflected attention away from the real issues and urged people to take a leaf out of Martin Luther King's book and protest peacefully. A rally was arranged for the following Saturday in Parliament Square with a big emphasis on the word peaceful. There were rumours the far right were also arranging demos of their own in Whitehall under the pretext of protecting the statues and monuments. They were guarding the country's heritage, allegedly. Scratch the surface though. Dig a little deeper and those statues they were protecting were either of racist bigots or people who had ties with the slave trade. But I suppose that was just a coincidence, eh? I'd been messaging Clara all week. She was single, tick. She was a big Damien Rice fan, tick-ish. And she was a lover of cats. Oh, and I loved cats too. Of course I did. I did now anyway. She asked if I was going to the rally. I was wary, but I wanted to go. Yeah, okay, I admit it. It'd be great to see her again. Well, come on. I'd been alone for 10 weeks, hadn't I? Locked away with just a bloody goldfish for company. If we stayed clear of Whitehall, we should be okay. So I said yes. I messaged her back saying I'd be there. She was waiting for me outside Waterloo Station. She smiled and hugged me. I was pretty sure that that wasn't allowed. No, I knew that it wasn't allowed. But I didn't care. We made our way to Parliament Square. The turnout was much less for the rally than last week. There were hundreds, not thousands of us. But we made plenty of noise, waved our placards and banners, and cheered on the speakers. There was a heavy police presence, but they just stood back and let us get on with it. It felt safe enough. But then, just as the speakers were coming to an end, just as everything was winding down, we heard a football chant in the distance. England, England, England. It grew louder and louder until it was really close, practically drowning out the speakers. I felt really nervous. England, England, England. The police formed a cordon around us, shields raised, batons drawn. But this time, they were to protect us, to try and protect us. But it was no use. Bricks and bottles were being thrown. I was scared. In fact, I was terrified. I pushed Clara behind me and managed to bat away a few bricks with my backpack. One caught me on the elbow. Oh, fuck me, it hurt. A bunch of tattooed thugs broke through the police lines. They screamed insults and punches and punched and kicked anyone that was in their way. A scrawny, rat-faced little prick spat in my face and called me a traitor to my race. Me, a traitor? Was I the one standing in Whitehall giving Nazi salutes? I don't fucking think so. I scrambled away, dragging Clara behind me. We had to get out of here. Some of the crowd hurled the bottles and bricks back in the direction they'd come from. A rough-looking bloke with a shaved head got struck on the forehead. He collapsed in a heap in front of us. Punches and kicks rained down on him. I thought they were going to kill him. I shouted, "Don't! Don't give them a martyr, for fuck's sake!" But no one was listening. Suddenly, a huge black brother made his way through the crowd. I waited for him to join in, to start pummeling the skinhead, but he didn't. He pushed back the crowd. He threw the thug's limp body over his shoulder and he carried him away. Carried him away from the skirmishes, away from danger. I couldn't believe it. This guy was built like a WWF wrestler. He could have swatted that racist twat away like a pesky fly. He could have snuffed him out, but he didn't. He helped him. He saw a fellow human being in trouble and he forgot about his hatred, he forgot about his anger, and he helped him. Who the hell was this guardian angel? If just one of those fucking police officers who just stood back and watched had thought about stepping in, had thought about stopping their colleague, then George Floyd would be alive today. I fumbled for my phone. It was in my jacket, but which bloody pocket? Come on, come on. Oh, finally found it, and I took the photo. The black brother and the racist thug. His enemy slung over his shoulder like a rag doll. He carried him through the crowd. He carried him to safety. If this picture wasn't an inspiration for hope in these dark days, then nothing would. I logged into Facebook and I posted it. No words, no comments, I just posted the picture. My phone pinged. And then it pinged again and again. Ping, ping, ping. I muted my phone and I placed it in my pocket.
All right. Woo-wee, Bernie. That's another reason why that was put at the end and stuff. But it's a powerful message. I mean, definitely, the picture of the brother, carrying the white guy. I won't say Nazi. Anyway, so a powerful message though. What do you think? What do you think, Sharon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a few things through that are really up to date, and of course that was a fantastic thing. And Bernie was telling me he was trying to figure out whose perspective he should write it from, but it was difficult to write it from the two people in the picture, so he decided to write it from the perspective of the person taking it. Yeah. Because you've got to be a bit careful with writing real people. So
it was also an excellent choice because, I mean, I think what it really was is that the story is inspired by the picture. Because I think that's what Bernie had said, is that the story is inspired by the picture. So everything else, especially like as you say, being from a random passerby, the details. It's all in the details. And everything. So well done, Bernie, and everything. Well done to everyone, I mean, it's been a fantastic show tonight. This has been our first compendium.
Yeah.
We started out with our collections, and then now this is a compendium. And let us know, if you want us to do more of this, because we already are planning to.
Yeah, we're doing it whether you like it or not.
Oh no, no, of course you like it, but but no, no. The next, so we're thinking about doing these monthly, and
Yeah.
so the next one will be at the beginning of August. So that means for you writers out there, um, it's to submit, right?
Yeah.
So like,
Submit to me.
also probably what we'll do is that I know Colin Hines is already itching. Okay, I can see him now in the chat already itching. It's like
It's all
like
that cracking.
itching and cranking.
It's all the cracking's making him
Get it
itch.
sorted. But no, I mean, make a film. Like we would love to show a film within the compendium and stuff like that, because we know that Mandy's already working on one. The lovely
Yeah.
Mandy Lonnie is already working on a film. So like definitely, if you're able, with what tools that you got, make a film, then yeah, submit those too and everything. And so we definitely look forward to that. We
Yeah,
also
we've also got some we've
well
got some
and tell you who they are.
sorry, we've got some special guests coming up next time. I think some actors that have shown an interest. So we'll see who we can get to read out the monologues next time.
No, definitely. And I mean, so again, this has just been a lovely collaboration going on. You've already heard about Sharon's writers drop in going to bi-weekly and stuff like that. But you also have a course coming up. Never hurts to do your little pitch. You also have a course coming up, right? Writing
Yeah,
together.
well,
I want to know what you know about it. It's closed
yeah,
course for you.
my course is full now, so we're doing a writing together course, which is very proactive, so that everybody can join in, and do a bit of writing during the lesson. Writers want to write, and writers want to read out their work, and so the course sort of revolves around that. But once we finish, then you've got a course, haven't you, Chase?
Yeah, well, I mean, like as you know, we've always said that Big Condo Radio is now open. It's not open for everyone, but we're open and everything. We have a great studio that we have that people who are performing music and everything. But for those of you who are out there, trying to make short films or out there in this climate, we have ADR available as well. But we are mainly Big Condo's training academy. So we're mainly a media campus. So what we're doing is we're opening up for courses ourselves now. And so we're doing like writing, acting, creating characters, online streaming. And the fantastic Blake that's in the booth is just this close to finishing in our website. So all the information will be on our website. So when we launch the website and you get blasted with spam and everything like that, please check it out because he worked really hard on this and
Yeah.
everything. So, but yeah, so we do have courses coming up definitely in September, but we were thinking about being available in August, but we might think that because everybody has to do a rethink now anyway.
Yeah.
So let's just say please check out our courses that will be available at Big Condo and everything. So you got radio, you got acting, you got creative writing, but we're focusing more on the visuals as you see what we're doing here. So for those of you who are out there, come check us out. You know where to find me. You know where to find Big Condo Radio as well as Big Condo Training Academy. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
We had a lovely night. It wasn't as long as one would think, but I know by looking at the chat, it wasn't tedious. So I'd like to thank my co-host, Sharon Colpman. It
Thank
was
you
a
very
pleasure
much.
working with
Yeah.
you and everything like that, riding along with the sidecar. I'm Chase Johnston-Lynch. And please give a big thanks or a big what up to our man Blake in the booth and everything like that, who made this all great. I love the curtains moving and everything, and it's just that all due to Mr. Science, Mr. Science and everything. So That's us. That's me, and that's you. So we out of here. And thanks for watching the Compendium on Saturday Night Live. Blake doesn't like when I say that. I said it anyway. And happy Independence Day. That's me as an American. That's for my family.